Alright, hey y'all, it's Zooks, and this is Let's Play Satisfactory. Welcome back to the Pioneer Orientation and Optimization Program. I'm Zooks, and last episode we built many temp structures, temp things. Actually, I didn't take it off of my to-do list. Let's clear this up. This episode is a little bit more straightforward. We're going to be working on our Tier 2... or Tier 4, sorry, milestones. Super exciting. So let's get to it. We did a ton of just wandering around, and we're sinking a lot. So actually we should see our tickets slowly creeping up. You can see that we're getting a points per minute now. And this is due to our quartz and sulfur setups that we have going on there. I think those setups are like, we got a cave in here that we got quartz and SAM being produced, and then we got, we got sulfur, Nobilisk and such being produced there. Let's look at our milestones. Oh, the blueprint machine. I've seen this. I was not playing when this was introduced. So, I'm interested. I am interested. Let's take a look. Do I have these parts? Where are those beams? I thought I had beams. I guess I don't have the required stuff. So that's what this episode's likely going to be. It's going to be me going, finding these, what was the... I want to double check here. Sorry. Yeah. It's just going to be me wandering around and trying to gather parts for the tiers. And then me showing off whatever the tier is supposed to unlock. So that's really what we'll be doing today. Nothing too crazy. So I think the plan is going to be, I'm gonna go to the milestone. I'm gonna set the milestone, and then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna grab the materials. I'll probably fast forward that, and then we'll unlock it, and I'll sort of display it. All right, or display it, illustrate it. I don't know, something. So for the time being, I'll see you. All right, we're back. I think I got everything. Kind of am worried now that I don't. Let's see. Steel beams. Yep. Modular frames. Concrete cables. Oh.
Milestone reached. Blueprints reduce repetitive building tasks, further optimizing your progression towards saving Earth, with its beautiful ecosystems, abundant natural resources, and sunsets over frolicking puppies and kittens. The blueprint designer allows you to build and combine structures once and then duplicate that configuration effortlessly. Any complaints about the spatial restrictions will only reveal your own inefficiencies.
Yeah, that's FICSIT telling us to calm down about how big these things are. So this is a blueprint machine. We've not used this at all. I wonder, does this have a power thing? Oh wait, do I have to name this? Blueprint name. So we're gonna do a test blueprint. I want to show you how this works. Test, and we can select an icon. Let's just do that. Select icons. So let's start building. What this does basically is, if there is a design that you want to use or some type of special thing, I think I'm going to end up using this a lot for, like, whenever I start working on a train, rail, or maybe if there's repetitive parts of a factory, or maybe there's a production setup that you want to duplicate, right? So let's say I want to make a little smelter array that has 4 smelters working to smelt ores. I want to have a splitter here. And a splitter here. Right? And then we'll build like this. Right? And then I wonder if... And then let's just... I think I'm a little bit off here, but that's okay. I'll skip that one then. And then we'll have a setup where we merge these onto a single line. Right? Merge, so we want these, the output of these to become a single line. And this is going to be our blueprint. And basically you can build this once and then never have to build it again. Right? I don't have to do all this. I believe it saves recipes, so let's just do iron for now. Right? And so this is the blueprint. And so I can save this blueprint. So let's save. And then let's load the blueprint. And if I load the blueprint, it populates back in here. So let's clear the blueprint, actually. Clear blueprint designer. All right. So now, if I go into my builds and I go up here to blueprints and I select my new blueprint, that's what we named it. Unfortunately, it didn't keep test. You can build the whole thing in one click.
Building in blueprint mode can further optimize your construction process with snapping and quick dismantling options. Build modes are not just there to make your work easier, they compensate for inevitable human error. FICSIT understands humanity like no other, and humanity needs you to be efficient and productive at all times.
Yeah, so obviously you can see the value of this. I just built all that thing. I could do this, I could mirror this over and over again, and it saves a ton of time as far as building goes. I definitely will use this. I'll tell you this, I've not practiced with this at all. So it's really new to me. But I'm excited to find good uses for this. So it does keep recipes, that's an important thing to note. Another thing you might want to do is when you do this type of a thing is maybe have power already put into the blueprint. And so one thing worth mentioning is, so this is a dismantler. If you hit R to change the dismantle mode, you can dismantle the whole blueprint at once. Really, really cool. The second thing you can do here is if you want to work on an existing blueprint, you just select it. And then we can get back to work on this blueprint if we needed to. You know what I'm saying? But we want to clear the blueprint designer. We're not going to use the blueprints right now because we're not really doing anything that's super polished. But I did want to show y'all that. Let's take a look at our next milestones. That is a really cool milestone. Build gum software upgrade as blueprint tab. Yeah. We saw that. Okay. Logistics Mark III. So this is obviously a very important milestone because we're going to get a new belt throughput. Our belt throughput has been locked at 120 with the Mark II belts. So now we will have Mark III belts and we'll have a bigger storage container and it has 2 inputs and outputs. Super, super cool. And, oh, I got it all. Oh, I don't have it all. Yeah, I'll be back. All right, let's take a look at logistics.
Milestone reached. Improved storage containers and the conveyor belt Mark III provide the obviously necessary tools for improving your current setup. Production speed is of the essence after all. So work hard. Work as if every person you have ever or will ever love is depending solely on the choices that you make. Because they are. Warning. FICSIT psychologists recommend not dwelling on the crushing mental and physical strain of your responsibilities and simply continuing to be productive. Hard work has repeatedly proven to be the best cure for any kind of stress. Now back to work.
That man, Ada is on fire in 1.0. Let me tell you. Oh, dude, I got some heavy modular. Where did I get these from? So we got some of these parts. Anytime I've gotten some like super high advanced parts, I've been stockpiling them here. So there's a lot of cool stuff here that the doggos have gotten for me. I have way too much quick wire in my inventory. Let's take a look. There's not too much to showcase here. I mean, they're belts, you know? But it's important to understand what the materials are, because this is an expensive belt. Reinforced iron plates take a lot to produce. But steel beams, not that hard. It's just a foundry and a constructor. So these are really good belts. These are pretty easy to make, in my opinion. I feel like they're easier to make than the Mark II belts. So, oh, let's change this. Those are Mark III belts, 270 a minute. And then obviously we got the lift that goes with them as well. What was the other thing? No. Yeah, industrial storage. So we have now a giant storage container. It doubles the inventory space, and you can put 2 inputs and outputs in it. So that's kind of cool. You can kind of like double the speed of the container, which is awesome. And I think that's really it for this milestone. And we have basically 2 minutes. Stackable conveyor pipes. We haven't used a lot of pipes. Once we polish, we're going to eventually polish up our coal production. Speaking of which, I'm curious what our power situation's like. We are creeping up there. We're going to have to add a little bit, but we basically are at 100. We're basically have 100 leeway at the moment. So, and not everything's going to be running at the same time. So, pretty cool. Let's take a look. We can, while we're waiting, I can make sure we have enough for these things. You know what I'll probably do here is I'm gonna take away some modular frames, and then I'll get back to you when I have all the stuff I'm gonna need. All right, see you in a sec. All right, let's get back here. I think I got enough now for our advanced steel production. Let's plug in these things, concrete, and then I have 100 steel pipes somewhere here. Yep.
Milestone reached. The Miner Mark II allows extraction of resources from nature to FICSIT at twice the speed of the Mark I model. Miners can be directly upgraded to Mark II without removing the Mark I model, just like conveyor belts and other upgradable infrastructure. Unfortunately, setting up the production of advanced steel parts and project part number 3, automated wiring, will not be as easy. Every moment you delay reduces the chances of saving humanity. I will not show you the predictions, it would only demotivate you.
Thank you. So this is a big milestone. Unfortunately, there's not a ton to show you. We have 4 parts. 3 of them can be crafted in here. We got an encased industrial beam. It takes concrete and steel beams. We unlocked a stator, which takes steel pipes and wire. And then we unlocked a motor, which is a rotor and a stator. The other thing we unlocked is automated wiring, which is the 3rd space elevator part. So at this moment, we could start producing materials for the space elevator. Now we're not gonna do that right this second. The other crazy important thing, this is super duper good. is we have a miner Mark II. So basically every miner we have is a miner Mark I. And the baseline for these, as far as normal and impure and pure, is impure would do 30 ore a minute, normal would do 60 ore a minute, and pure would do 120 a minute. But with a miner Mark II, we will now be able to do, it basically doubles that baseline production. So with a miner Mark II, impure will produce 60 a minute, normal will produce 120 a minute, and pure will produce 240 a minute. And that's at a baseline 100% clock speed. So we could effectively, given our new throughput for our belts, we could have a bunch of 200, we could pull 270 ore out of these nodes with these miner Mark IIs and some power shards. So it's extremely good. Now we have to wait a bit for this to get back down. I'm not going to show you the miner because it's literally the same exact thing. It's got a little bit of extra detail on it, and it just doubles the output. So I won't build that. But what I'm going to do now is I gotta do some more tinking. And so what I'll do is I'll tink while I, what else did I need? It was 50 and 50. Do I have 50 of these? I do. I have 100, so we'll keep that. So we'll have enough of that. But we got to make some of this stuff. So I'll be tinking while I wait on the thing to get back in, because we need apparently like 200 more stinking modular frames or something like that. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, we're back. The timing was pretty good. We just finished, and the pod just came back. Now this is pretty cool. So I stopped playing in like 2020 or like 2 years ago, and so there's some of these milestones are new to me. All of these are not new. None of these were new, and none of these were new. But right here, this blueprint is new to me, and this is also new to me. I didn't get to play with these power towers. So let's put some of this stuff in. Oh wow, we're gonna need a lot more wire. I do have the steel beams. Do I have wire over here too? Nah, we'll have to do some steel beams though. Let me, I'll go run and grab some wire real quick and be right back. All right, not a big deal. We got our wire. Let's check out expanded power infrastructure.
Milestone reached. After several pioneers started exhibiting traumatic responses to power blackouts, FICSIT developed mitigation tools recommended by your local therapist. Power storages can hold excess power to delay or prevent blackouts in the eventuality that your factory's power consumption exceeds production. To simplify, these are rechargeable batteries. Power towers carry power lines for significantly greater distances than poles, facilitating factory expansion and exploitation of this environment for the good of FICSIT and humanity.
Thank you, Ada. Yeah, let's take a look. So there's 2 power towers. It says this one helps span power lines across greater distances. No additional power. There is an additional power connector at the bottom to connect it to other buildings such as power poles. This one has a little bit of a platform on the top. So let's take a look. I'm gonna do this one, and then let's also just build this one just because I'm curious. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. So in the bottom, oh, okay, it's got 4 slots, and then we got 2 lines up there. And then this one And from what I understand is you can actually drag these super far. Yeah, like look at that. And like you can like take these so far. Like wire doesn't normally stretch that far. And so you could really like look at that. Look at how far that is. So this is pretty unique and helpful. Specifically, this is going to be awesome for traversing. I could literally just do this and then zip line my way all the way over there. Really, really cool. And it looks like this is the same exact thing, just with a platform, right? Yeah. I mean, come on. This looks super handy. Yeah. What was the other thing we have to build? Power storage. Another very important thing. Power storage is a it's a battery, basically. And what it does is you connect it to a power network, and it absorbs any excess charge in the power network. So you can see here, our consumption is 509. This is the buildings that we have running that are sucking power out of our grid. Our max consumption is 603.5. This is all of our machines, if they were running at the same time, would consume this much. Our capacity and production are equal because our capacity is the maximum amount of power that the grid can supply, and the production is the amount of power that's being produced. And because we're just using coal generators, they always produce at 100% of their production capacity. So those are going to be the same now. With biomass burners, it would only produce as much as they needed, or as much as the grid needed to consume, and the capacity was higher. But what this does is it sucks up excess power. So right now we have like 100 between, or 100 power that's not being used. So what it's doing is it's taking some of that 100 megawatts and it's sucking it up, and it's going to charge this battery till it's full. And what happens is it then releases the charge if the grid gets overloaded. So in this situation, right, our grid has a max consumption of 603.5. If all the machines, for whatever reason, were now running at the same time, we would go over and our grid would fail, and our fuse would break. But what will happen now is once we hit this 603.5, our grid doesn't fail anymore. This battery shuts on or turns on and releases its charge to the grid, keeping us from failing. So super cool. These things are really handy. I don't, I guess I don't understand the how much I need to make. I've made a ton at my main base in the last world. Like you could, another cool thing, interesting thing about these is you can daisy chain them. So like they link together, and you don't need to link them on power poles. So that's cool. But yeah, I don't know how many to build. I worried last time that I built too many, like it was unnecessary. We'll see. I don't know. Our FICSIT freighter is back. Ooh, we get hypertubes. We're gonna end the episode on hypertubes. I'm totally down with that. All this stuff we have, pipes. Actually, do I have any more copper sheets? Yeah, cool. Copper sheets and pipes. This is a great milestone.
Milestone reached. By adding hypertube entrances at both ends of hypertubes, pioneers can achieve two-way travel between locations. They are also % safer than jump pads. You dreamed of moving across factories like valued resources, such as rocks and water, and FICSIT listened to your dreams. We watched them. We took extensive notes. Hypertubes. Because FICSIT makes pioneers' closely monitored dreams come true.
Thank you so much, Ada. Yeah, these are hypertubes. Hypertubes are great. This is basically, you know how in the first set of tiers we had production, we had transport, the jump pads. This is the next upgrade to transport. What you do is I actually like to do a support first. So this is a hypertube support. And then we're going to build a hypertube entrance. And it's directional. Because we're going to now make this long tube. Not too long. And I'm going to put it over here. Because I always end up needing to come over here. Let's go like this. And then like this. Something like that. And then on this side, we don't need a support. We need another entrance. There we go. Now here's the catch. Is these need to be powered. So you have to power the entrance. But as you can see, there's some air sucking in. And so you put the entrance down. And then you put the tubes out the back. And you build it kind of like you would a pipeline. And then you can go in. I don't even need to do anything. I'm going to clap my hands. See that? You don't have to touch anything, and it takes you to your destination. Now, that is a simple way to do this. You can do a lot of fun stuff with this. I'll do a little example. So I believe the setup is, I think it's this way. So let's try, I think you do this, and then you can do this, and then you can do this, and then you do this, right? And then I'm going to do something like, let's do that, and we'll do like that, right? Let's see how this goes. So we're going to do this, and we do this. Let's do one more. So the momentum you gain from these, from the entrance is something that you can manipulate a little bit. So we're going to put an entrance there, an entrance there, and an entrance there. Need some rods. And basically you can use this, the hypertubes to effectively make a cannon to shoot yourself across the map or into oblivion. So don't go, this is fun to play around with. I've done a lot of hypertube playing around. And let me tell you, it is a good time. Let's grab that. All right, so we're powered up. So now, if I go through, and then it shoots me out. See that? And so you can just keep adding entrances, and you can just shoot yourself across the entire map. It's really cool. It's a good time, honestly. You wanna have a good time. Just just add a bunch of hypertubes and play around. A ton of fun. I'm gonna try to land on this. That's sweet. Okay. That is it for our milestones. And it's been very exciting. We've got through all our milestones. Now, before we go, as you can see, we can't get to tiers 5 and 6 because we have to unlock phase 2. I want to show you my favorite type of a shortcut. Okay? It's my favorite way to do a shortcut. And basically, what I call a shortcut, what you generally want to do in this game is make factories. And generally you like to make factories that efficiently take resources and then produce resources automatically without you having to do anything. Like at the moment, our setup here is such that I don't need to run in here. I don't have to put anything anywhere. This is all happening automatically, and none of it is manual. None of it's even semi-automatic. It's all automatic. Okay? But you can do some shortcuts to, if you don't want to set up production for something. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And specifically, I'm talking about space elevator parts. We have 3 space elevator parts. Let me show you our phase 2 here. We need to get 1,000 smart plating, 1,000 versatile frameworks, and 100 automated wiring. So what this means for us is we'd have to set up basic automated production for smart plating, versatile frameworks, or automated wiring. And that's a lot. Let me show you these recipes. We already know smart plating is basically a rotor and a reinforced iron plate for each smart plating. So that's 1,000 reinforced iron plates and 1,000 rotors that we got to produce. And at the moment, we only produce 4 rotors a minute. Okay. Then we got versatile frameworks. Versatile frameworks take modular frames and steel beams. Okay. These, we don't have a great automated setup at the moment for either of these. Okay. And this is even more complicated. We just unlocked the stator. We have not made any production for stators. And that's kind of on purpose. That's a lot of work. And basically, we're running into the issue at this point in the games where not all the resources are in the same place. And you'll notice they added a trucking milestone in this tier 4 because of this exact problem. Is the stator's going to require steel and it requires wires. Steel takes coal and iron, and then the wires take copper. So you have to find a place where all 3 of those resources are in a close proximity, and we don't have that super well. So there's a shortcut I really like to do, and I want to just show you this shortcut. Unfortunately, I don't know that I'm going to have the parts to do this, but I'll show you the basic setup here. We're going to need this. I mean, I don't think this is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll just do one on top. 6. And so this is one of my favorite shortcuts. In fact, back in the day when I played, I did this. This was like the main way I produced items. And in fact, if you ever watch a speed run this game, people do this exact thing as well, because it's just it's very, very convenient. What you end up doing is you are not making an attempt to produce there you go. We're not attempting to produce things automatically. What the plan is I'm going to go through here. I'm going to make all the stators I'm going to need. I already have it. I've done the research because I wanted to show y'all this. I'm going to basically just, instead of producing these things naturally through a factory, all I'm going to do is I'm going to get the amount of parts, and I'm just going to, for this machine, I'm going to take cables, I'm going to throw them in here, and I'm going to take stators, I'm going to throw them in here. And not automatically, it's more semi-automatic, but we'll make automated wiring. And I'm going to do the same thing for these 2 crates. In this crate, I'm going to chuck a bunch of modular frames. In this crate, I'm going to chuck a bunch of steel beams, and the same thing for the smart plating. I'm going to chuck a bunch of reinforced iron plates and rotors into this sucker, and we're just going to make, that's how we're going to make our tier, what is it? Where were we at? Tier 3 and 4? No, phase 2, sorry. Phase 2, space elevator parts. because again, it's really complicated, and I'm not interested at the moment in making a permanent setup for this production line. I have a plan for these production lines, and I will be making a completely automated setup for these production lines, but that's something that's going to come later. And I'll explain more about why I want to do that later. But for the time being, I'm going to do this phase in this way, mostly because I think this is an extremely useful shortcut, and I think anybody's going to benefit. I mean, I love the progression in this game, and I'll tell you what, I don't like building factories, and then in 2 or 3 tiers, that factory is completely useless. You know, I've done that a ton of times, and I've had to tear factories down. I've done that a lot. I've played this game since 2020. I know what's coming next, and I don't want to waste my time making a factory that's inevitably going to become moot in just a few short tiers. You know what I'm saying? So this is a great way to shortcut, to skirt around that problem. This is a semi-automatic way. I can get these materials. I'll have to tinker away some of the stators. I'll probably throw a little spaghetti in there. But I'll be doing that next episode. That's all for this episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here for the Pioneer Orientation and Optimization Program. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you, subscribe.